Ever since I reviewed the Casio CT-X700, the Casiotone CT-S200 and the CT-S300, I have been getting loads of comments asking me which one is better and what are the differences. This is an important question because in many markets, especially the developing ones, Casio has decided to price the recently released Casiotones and the 2-year-old Casio CT-X700 at about the same price. Those who are looking to buy either the Casiotone or the CT-X700 are most likely beginners who are new to keyboards and will not have the requisite knowledge to make an informed choice. In this video, I will tell you the differences that matter between the Casiotones and the Casio CT-X, as well as decide once and for all which one is better. My name is Jeremy C, and I've been a music teacher and musician for the last 25 years. I've made more than 300 reviews and tutorials on arranger keyboards and digital pianos on my channel. Subscribe and smash the bell icon if valuable videos like this interest you. While all three keyboards in this comparison have 61 full-size keys, the Casiotone CT-S200 does not have touch response. While the Casiotone CT-S300 has touch-sensitive keys, it only has 3 velocity curves, whereas the CT-X700 has 4 velocity curves. For more expressive playing, higher touch-sensitive keys are better. But if you are a beginner, the 3 velocity curves of the CT-S300 may be sufficient. For this round, the Casio CT-X700 gets 2 points, the CT-S300 gets 1 point, and the CT-S200 gets nothing. Next, let's look at the current price of these keyboards on Amazon USA. The CT-X700 is the most expensive keyboard in this comparison and costs $179 while the Casio CT-S300 costs $20 cheaper at $159. The CT-S200, being the cheapest here, costs just $119. The CT-X700 is a staggering 50% more expensive than the cheapest Casiotone CT-S200, and that may be a deal breaker if you do not want to spend too much money on your first keyboard. For this, the $119 Casio CT-S200 gets 2 points, the $159 CT-S300 gets 1 point, and the most expensive Casio CT-X700 gets none. Do check out the links in my video description for more information and the latest updated prices of these Casio keyboards. You can also find a list of my recommended keyboards, pianos, and music books in the video description too. Sound engine. One of the most important considerations when buying a keyboard is how good does it sound. The Casiotones may be newer models here, but they use the older AHL sound engine from the Casio CTK line of keyboards, but with a couple of tweaks. The CT-X700, however, uses the newer AIX sound source. As such, most of the CT-X700 tones sound better than those on the Casiotones. From my review of the CT-X700, there are quite a number of voices from the AHL chip too, but on the whole, the CT-X does just sounds better. For this, the CT-X700 gets 2 points and the Casiotones get 1 point each. Right out of the box, the Casio CT-X700 comes with 600 tones and 195 auto accompaniment rhythms. This is significantly more than the 400 tones and 77 rhythms found in both the Casiotones. The rhythms on the CT-X are also better programmed. For a beginner though, the 400 tones and 77 rhythms should be sufficient to get you started. You'll also get the usual intro, ending, fill-in, and 2 rhythm variations for all 3 models. As such, the CT-X700 gets 2 points and both the Casiotones get 1 point each. Much of the fun with this keyboard is the ability to play it anywhere and anytime with friends and family. Having speakers that are powerful enough not to be drowned out by everyone singing the birthday song at a party is important. Surprisingly, the cheapest CT-S300 has the best speakers. Although both the CT-X700 and the CT-S300 have a pair of 2.5 watt amplifiers, the speaker cones on the CT-S300 is slightly larger and definitely punches above its weight. The CT-S200 on the other hand gets a slightly less powerful pair of 2 watts amplifiers. The CT-S300 gets 2 points, the CT-X700 gets 1 point, and the CT-S200 gets no points this round. The Casiotone is designed with portability in mind, and this is evident from the rounded corners, lightweight battery operation, as well as the well-integrated carry handle that also doubles up as a holder for the included music rest. The CT-X700 is at least 30% more heavy than the Casiotones, and the angular and large form factor relegates it to being more suited for a fixed location usage rather than one that you can bring with you everywhere like a guitar. As such, the Casiotones get 1 point each this round. Just like most FMCG, aka fast-moving consumer goods like phones and clothing, a keyboard is often an extension of the owner's personality. Having the option of having multiple colors to choose from is attractive, especially to the younger demographics. Looking cool is as important as sounding cool. The Casiotone CT-S200 is the only one in this list that comes in red and white on top of the usual bland black color. You only get a stained black chassis for the CT-X700 and CT-S300. Although Casio did try to add a couple of color accents, but these are way less cool than the red and white color version of the CT-S200. And for this, the Casiotone CT-S200 gets a point. Wow, things are heating up in here. The Casio CT-X700 and the Casiotone CT-S300 are both tied with 7 points. Who will emerge the final winner? Smash that like button and keep watching till the end of this video to find out. But if you have made up your mind at this point, you can just check out the links in the description for the latest seasonal promotional pricing on these keyboards I have researched for you. Just like the Casio CTK range, the Casiotones inherits the dance music mode. This mode allows you to arrange rhythmic patterns and apply real-time modulating effects, just like what a DJ would do on the dance floor. Although basic in its implementation and musical snobs would label it cheesy, one cannot discount the value of this feature, allowing the young musicians to learn about song structure and building an appropriate musical climax. This dance music mode gains the Casiotones 1 point each. Casio has a pretty useful app, the Kodana Play app for keyboard. This app shouldn't be confused with the Kodana for piano app. With your Casiotone connected to your phone, you can load the 50 songs to learn and play musical games with. You can also load MIDI files and the app will convert the song to a music score with piano roll feature for you to play along with. Features such as song transposition and varying the tempo of the loaded songs are also supported via the app for your practice. Unfortunately, the app has limited functionality with the CT-X700. For this Kodana Play for Keyboard app feature found on the Casiotones, they both each get 1 point. After configuring the tones, rhythm, and tempo on your keyboard for the song you are playing, you would want the ability to save the settings into a preset for quick recall anytime you want to play the tune. Casiotones come with a single registration memory setting called My Setup. While this is better than the CTK series, which often don't have even a single memory preset, it pales in comparison with the Casio CT-X700. The CT-X700 has a very generous 32 user registration memory slots for you to save your song settings for easy recall. This feature earns the CT-X700 2 points and both the Casiotones get 1 point each. The CT-X's ability to layer dual voice layers as well as split different voices across the left and right side of the keyboard allows significantly more musical and creative possibilities. Although it is a shame that there is no way to adjust the volume mix of the layers on the CT-X700, this dual layer and voice split function is an important feature for those who are more serious about music making. The Casiotones unfortunately can only play a single tone at a time. Although a few voices in it come pre-layered, such as a piano and strings layer in a single patch, the absence of a real dual split feature does limit the musical potential of the Casiotones. This feature earns the Casio CT-X700 1 point. Both the Casiotone CT-S300 and the Casio CT-X700 are tied in the first place with 10 points each. Which you eventually choose depends very much on what features of a keyboard are important to you. I hope this video can help you make a better informed choice when choosing your Casio keyboard. You can also check out my recommended beginner keyboard in the description below. My name is Jeremy C, and YouTube thinks you should check out one of these videos here.